Hi, everybody. It's Tanya Hertz here, and I just wanted to talk to you a little bit about an abbreviated pitch deck presentation. So first of all, if you are presenting and you do want to present using this mode in Zoom, it's very easy to do. You just go to where you share the screen, and then when you click on share screen, there's a toggle at the top between basic and advanced. Go to advanced and then choose the slides as the virtual background. Definitely practice that first if you do plan to do it this way, because some people have experienced problems the first time that they've done it. So abbreviated pitch deck. Quickly talk about some of the things that you should cover and some of the things that you can omit. Before we do that, I just wanted to let you know there are detailed slides and information and videos on the presentation itself, and some tips to give an effective online presentation. Particularly, using Zoom. Those links are here in this PowerPoint slide. I highly recommend that you watch all 5. They're all very short, and they are very, very helpful at giving a virtual presentation. And when you think about it, I don't think I can switch screens here with this particular view, but you do have a rubric, a judging rubric, and about half of the rubric comes from your presenting skills. So that said, only half of it is the content itself. So really work on those presenting skills. All right. So when you are putting together your slides, remember that we as humans, we can't listen and read at the same time. So don't ever have too much information on a slide that you have to read from the slide, because also we tend to read a lot faster than we can speak. And so we're not, even if you are trying to read verbatim off of the PowerPoint slides, it's a bad idea, because people will tune you out because they'll be reading at a different rate. So your slides are not your presentation. They're there to support your presentation. Your presentation is your ability to convey information about your idea in a clear, concise, engaging manner. Remember, you have two primary jobs when you're giving a business presentation, and that is to inform and to entertain. So you're entertaining the audience. Keep that in mind, and keep your energy up, keep your enthusiasm up, and remember that people tend to like people that smile and that are are in a good mood, and it's important to be likable in business, because there's lots of correlative studies that show that leads to increased sales and better management, et cetera, et cetera. So on your slides themselves, keep them clear, concise, short, no sentences. Use photos, not clip art. Photos should be high quality, and only add photos where they add value. And on a standard pitch deck, it's typically a 5 to 10 minute presentation. This is an abbreviated pitch deck. That means we're aiming for about 90 seconds, a minute and a half. I'm not going to stop you at 90 seconds. I won't stop you until 2 minutes, really, but you should be aiming for 90 seconds. Less is more. Less is more. So, on a standard pitch deck, these are the 10 common slides that you'll see. And obviously you don't have time to go over all of them in an abbreviated pitch deck. So what do you keep? What do you omit? Well, I recommend that no matter what, you always want to hit on 3 topics in every pitch deck, whether it's your 2-minute pitch deck, your 10-minute pitch deck, or your lengthy pitch deck. Why you? Why this? Why now? So why you is why you are the right person to start this company right now. Do you have the right team behind you? Never say, oh, it's just me. Because if you've been working with me at all, it's not just you, it's you and me. And any intern that you're talking to, anybody who's been helping you with design, anybody that's been helping with anything, they're part of your team, whether you realize it or not. Normally you'd have to be paying for that. So express that, articulate that, make sure that they understand that. Why this? Every business that's successful solves a problem. So tell us what the problem that you're going to solve. And we'll get into that in just a minute. And then why now is why this problem actually needs to be solved right now. Is it a painkiller or a vitamin? Right? We talked about that. People want to buy painkillers, not vitamins, because if you have a headache right now, you'll pay anything. A vitamin, you're going to have to sell that, right? So the first slide or two should be the introduction. Well, it doesn't have to be in order. You choose the order, whatever makes the most sense for your business. But you do want, in the introduction, you want to keep it short, sweet. You want the first and last names of any team members that are sort of key team members. You want the business name, you want the business model. So remember, a business model is there are those commonly accepted business models, and just you can Google what are the common business models, and a business model is how a business makes money. And when you say my business model is X, Y, or Z, we get it. You don't have to say a lot of extra words. So a business model might be something like the freemium model, right? You say, I have a freemium model. We get it. We know that the service is free and we're paying for premium services, and it's a B2C. There's so many things that we get just by you saying that one thing. So look up the business models and tell us your business model. And then your one line elevator pitch. This is your one sentence or one line description of your business. This isn't a tagline. It's not a sales line. It is a description of the business using normal human language. Don't try to impress people with jargon. Jargon has no place in a pitch deck. And you want to keep it professional, but at the same time, you want it tangible and concrete and understandable. The team. So this is where you'll say what support you have. This is really important. There's, the judges are looking a lot of times at that. So describe what knowledge, experience, personality, education, skill set each of the team member brings to that business. Now, you can't do all of them for every person. So you might say something like, I'm working with Brett, and Brett is the social media manager for the company because he has 15 years experience doing social media marketing. Or I'm working with Kaylee, and she's doing our design because she has a knack for design, right? As simple as that. Just let us know why you're the right people to be starting, right? The company, why you. So why this is the problem solution. Problems are always more memorable when you link them to a narrative or a story. It does not mean that you make something up once upon a time. What I mean is, can you say, I'm starting this company that, let's say your company is a company, I don't know, that makes, coffee mugs that are not breakable, right? They bouncing coffee mugs, something like that. You might tell a story about how you were very clumsy growing up and you dropped a lot of coffee mugs, and so you needed to find a solution to this. And then people are going to remember you being clumsy, dropping coffee mugs, and then bouncing around, right? You might say, my sister was clumsy and she dropped a lot of coffee mugs. Whatever it is, just tie it to a narrative that people can picture, right? And then the solution, right? And then the final section that you need to cover is the kind of why now, your value prop. So why does your customer care? Why is this the right time in history to be starting this particular company? If you have sustainable competitive advantage or your secret sauce, something that makes you really unique, you'll want to include that now. If you've noticed that there is a particular trend that makes your business extremely lucrative at this point in history, you'll mention that now. So less is more, less is more, less is more. It's better to be on the 90-second side than pushing 2 minutes and then having to stop you. You can add additional slides if you'd like, but I don't recommend going overboard on it. If you are going to add some extra slides, you might want to you might want to add maybe the customer slide, or I'm sorry, the competitor slide, or the customer slide, or the MVP if you have an MVP, but only if it's something that really just kind of needs to be shown. Make sure that no matter what, that you are keeping your market segmentation very narrow, no matter how big the business is. We just had a workshop with the senior product engineer rather for PayPal, and she was talking about how important it was to have a focus strategy, a focus target market when they were introducing a new product. This is for PayPal, right? You'd think PayPal, anybody could use it, right? Well, yes, but no, right? If you can keep your target market narrowly defined, you have a higher probability of being successful. Always keep that target focus strategy. And if you are including your financial projections, make sure that we understand, or that you understand them, and share what you know about your business. Keep it high level instead of getting down into the weeds. When you're sharing, if you're sharing your TAM, SAM, and SOM, make sure that you are not sharing everything. Break it down, calculate it, and only include it if you've done the research, right? Only include price if you've done the research. What you don't want to have happen is you don't want to say something like, oh, we're charging $20 for this and we're making so-and-so on it, and you haven't done any of the research. They'll want to know, well, how did you calculate that? Did you look at competition? Did you look at your costs? Did you talk to potential customers, right? So only include this if you have it. And if you are, including this, make sure to express it as both market size and revenue, and make it as, clean, concise, and few numbers as possible. See, this is the same data on this slide as on this slide, right? So keep it short, keep it to the point. If you are including an MVP, it might be a good idea to show your demo. If you are deciding to show the competitor slide, a good way to do that is, here, I think I have it here. Let me see. Yeah, something like this for competition. For an MVP, you can absolutely use a Pretendotype. I have a video available on prototyping and Pretendotyping. Yeah, feel free to use that. Don't spend any extra time on that, right, than necessary. If you are including your target market, again, keep it in narrow focus. And then in the end of the presentation, you want it to end very strong, right? Don't ask for money in this particular presentation. This isn't the right time for it. It's just going to open you up for a bunch of questions that you're not necessarily ready for. And it's just not the right time and place to do this. So, but you can have an ask. Maybe your ask is for feedback or questions or whatever it is. But make sure that we know that it's over when the presentation is over, right? So don't leave us kind of wondering, is that it? Make sure that you still command the audience even when the presentation is over. During the Q&A, there's always going to be, a few minutes of Q&A. And when they are asking you questions, please answer the questions with no more than 2 sentences. 1 sentence is better. If we want more, we will ask for more. Okay. And this is a good idea too, to maybe bring in some team members to help with this section. And you're, if you have somebody tech on your team, bring that person in. Yeah. So that's that on the abbreviated pitch deck. I hope that was helpful, and I'm excited to watch them. I will talk to you all very soon.